Alrighty. Well, looks like everything's looking good. Going to be 720p today because, well, it doesn't seem to like the 1080p. It keeps telling me that my encoding is overloaded. Hello, everybody. Steve Britton here for Friday, January what is the date? The 12th. There you go. Friday, January the 12th. So it's almost the 13th, almost Saturday the 13th. Not that that means anything, but there you go. So anyway, before I go any further, just remember you can find me in a number of different places on the internet. You can find me on Facebook, Steve Speaks Freely, and over on Twitter, on minds.com, on makersupport.com. Those three very important sites. You can find me with the hashtag, or the handle rather, SCBritton. BRITTON. SCBRITTON. And anything that you do decide to send me in order to support the show, never expected, always appreciated. So we'll start with that. And it's going to be a fairly short one today, I think, partly because it's the kids' last day of Christmas vacation. On the modified schedule, they get an extra week at Christmas time. So we're going to be going out and doing some stuff today because the wife is off from work as well. And yeah, so well, hopefully next week we'll be back in the swing of things as per usual. In the meantime, I want to talk a little bit about, well, as you can see by the title, the Nazi pug. Now, the backstory to this is there's a YouTuber by the name of Count Dankula. He lives in Scotland, and his girlfriend, named Sue, had kept going on and on and on and on and on about her pug and how it was the cutest dog in the world. And Count Dankula, being a bit of the trollish shitposter type, decided to, and he put us on the video, he said, I wanted to find the least cute thing I could, just to annoy her. So he trained his pug thusly. And I'm going to show you a little bit of a video here. You see the pug watching the video there. Yes, that's right. He trained his dog to respond to Sieg Heil by raising a paw. He also respond to the command, gas the Jews. And over and over again in the video, he says, gas the Jews, and the pug acts in a various way. Is this appropriate? Absolutely not. I want to be clear. No, yeah, I kind of smiled a little bit when the pug raised its paw a little bit because it's, well, uncute, but it's also, in a way, vaguely, mildly amusing as a sort of like, oh my gosh, kind of way. It's a cringe. But this has landed this guy in one hell of a hot lot of hot water. He's been arrested. He's been charged with hate crimes. He's gone to court now. He got fired from his job, and the only reason he's working now is because he's working from a friend of his, because nobody would hire him. The newspapers treated him like what they call in Scotland a yob, which is a violent hooligan. Right? You see the people beating each other up at soccer games? Those are yobs. Okay? So that's what the paper, and he's anything but. And he was crystal clear that this was the most horrendous thing that he could think of. And by the way, he was also successful. His girlfriend was very pissed off with him over this. Rightly so, by the way. But he's found himself dragged in front of a courthouse, dragged in front of a judge, and he's on trial for hate crimes. And the maximum penalty he could face is a year in prison for this. The Crown tried to elevate the crime after the fact and raise it to a maximum penalty of 10 years, but the judge wasn't having anything of that. In the trial, that's been reported, the Crown, in the last session, went on and on and on and on, and it's now delayed the trial numerous times, so he's still living on a social assistance with off with his girlfriend, helping him as best she can, and with whatever job he's got with his friend. And he's basically waiting for a verdict at this point, because the Crown in the last one basically went into this filibuster trying to extend this longer. I guess the Crown's at this point making the process the punishment rather than the actual verdict and the outcome and whatever sentence the judge imposes, because, well, in the process of this trial, the judge tried to, say that he's using the cuteness of the pug to entice people to become Nazis and recruit other Nazis into his fold, and he wants to fill football stadiums with Jews and then gas them. Like, can you get any more hyperbolic? All of this because he released a video of him training a pug to annoy his girlfriend with something pretty horrendous. And yes, at the end of the day, humor is subjective. It was horrendous. Now, is this hate speech? I don't think so. I know there's people out there who disagree with me. Is it inappropriate speech? That one, yeah, I will probably agree with you on. It's definitely not appropriate. It's not something that I would do. Not that I could, because I'm a cat owner, not a dog owner. But ultimately, it's the last thing that you can think of is that this would be hate speech. And it just shows you, like, what the things the Crown was saying in the court. It just shows you the level of absurdity that we've got to. Now, is this truly where we are going as human beings? Is this really the state of affairs in society now? That a guy trains a dog to respond to inappropriate commands by responding in a shocking way. Is that really hate speech? No, it isn't. It's free speech. It's disgusting, but it's free speech. So, there you go. That's the thought. Now, I don't think any reasonable person looking in that video would realize that he truly wants to gas Jews and he truly believes in Heil Hitler and Sieg Heil and all that. What I think this comes from is the generation following me and the generation following me, the millennials. I'm Gen X. What I think it is a fundamental lack of understanding on their part of what the Second World War was about, how truly vile of a human being Hitler was, and how truly evil the Nazi ideology actually is. And I think that's also was what spread the rise of the so-called alt-right movement and their so-called ethno-state. But that's a discussion for another time, other than to say that they're also quite anti-Jewish as well. But I really don't understand why a Crown prosecutor would file hate crime charges against a stupid video on the internet of a pug responding to Sieg Heil. Like, again, inappropriate, not really that funny, but the level to this has been taken, and the process that this guy is going through, and the fact that he's getting hit so hard by the legal system over this is patently absurd. And if you think that this could never happen here in Canada, you're wrong. Consider the motions recently passed by the House of Commons regarding Islamophobia. Now, my views on Islam are well and truly on record. Everybody knows where I stand on the issue. I have no problem with Islam. I have no problem with Muslims. Myself, I've worked with them. I've played cricket with them. I have no issues with them. But I understand that people are concerned, and there are concerns to be held. And the government is looking at ways of banning speaking out against it, and that's just plain wrong. So don't think that it could never happen here in Canada. In the States, you've got the First Amendment to protect you a little bit. But look at the way Antifa behaves when a bunch of tiki torch bearers in Charlottesville walk around a statue. Like the left goes apoplectic and you end up with a dead person, depending on what side you believe. They were killed by a guy who panicked because he was slightly autistic, if you believe the alt-right side, and if you believe the alt-left side, he maliciously got in his car and rammed into a crowd. Who knows? What I can tell you is that this is boiling over. And this is the danger that we are in. If this guy in Scotland had been ignored, the video that he made would have had far, far, far less reach than it's received as a result of this. He would have been a productive member of society. He would have still been working. He would have done the video. People would have gone, ha, 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 yeah, that's not really that funny, and I would have been the end of it. Instead, it's been dragged out for more than 2 years now, and he still can't work properly, and he's now facing jail time, which is going to put another black mark on his record, possibly, and so on and so forth. So, be that as it may, and take that for what it's worth. So, anyways, that's it for this week. I'm Steve Britton, of course, and thanks for watching. If you like what you've seen, please do hit that thumbs up button. If you don't like what you've seen, bye, go away. If you feel like making a comment, please do so. Anything and everything that you do helps boost the channel, helps boost the feed, helps boost the my videos in the YouTube algorithm, and hopefully things will improve. Next week, I'm going to talk a little bit about Twitter, because Twitter's facing a rather interesting antitrust lawsuit. Google, of course, is facing a class action lawsuit, but I'm pretty sure Facebook is watching with bated breath, because Facebook may find themselves next in line if they're not very careful either. So, anyways, thanks for watching, everyone, and I'll talk to you next week. Hey, everyone, thanks for watching this, and if you want to see more, make sure that you subscribe to the channel. You know how to do it. There's a little bell icon down below, and there's a little subscribe button down below. And as well, you can find me in a number of different places on the internet. You can find me on Facebook with Steve Speaks Freely. You can find me on Twitter at SCBritton. And of course, there's 2 very important places that you can also find me. This is where, if you want to support the show and help me expand the audience and do all the stuff that us creators try to do with their shows, you can find me on minds.com, minds.com, at SCBritton, and you can wire me points, and you can wire me a few bucks if you choose to. You can try wiring me some ducks if you like, but I don't think they're going to get anywhere. And the other place that you could find me, and it's a brand new site, it's called makersupport.com. So you can check me out there as well, also at SCBritton. So remember that, SCBritton, BRITTON, and you can find me in all those different places. And above all else, please do subscribe. And also comment. I like to know what you think, so give me some comments while you're at it. Thanks.